going on, everybody? You're still sitting here chilling with me, T. Right. Y'all know me. It's House of Praise, and I got the most gorgeous Brandy Hunt. It's in the building. I told y'all, pray about it. It comes to happen, and I gotta let you know you've been making some moves. I found a lot of stuff about you, and we're gonna get into your book. We're gonna get into your business, but right now I want to get into you. Who is Miss Brandy Hunt?
Well, that's always a fully loaded question, but I like to answer that with just saying that I'm a woman of God. I'm a mother. She's 16. My daughter is 16. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an author extraordinaire, transformation specialist, and purpose pusher, if I had to define it.
Okay. Wow. So that's a lot of hats. I thought I wore a lot of hats. Lord, I mean, that's a lot of hats. Are you a magician?
You know, sometimes, you know, we do have to make stuff happen as an entrepreneur.
Okay, so I'm gonna get into your business side, but I just want to ask this great question. Since you have a daughter that's 16, she's gonna eventually go off to school. How are you handling that?
Very carefully. She actually just got her driver's license.
Oh, man.
I was not ready, but she begged me. You know, they say persistence pays off, so I had to go ahead, and she did it on the first try. I was so proud.
She did better than me.
Right.
I'm sitting there praying 2 or 3 times.
Right.
Right.
Me too. So I'm definitely handling it. With God, all things are possible. So I just ask God to help me be the greatest mother that I can be. Let her see the world, and let her make her mark in the world.
Okay. So you seem like you've been doing a great job at it so far. So I know if he's keeping you going, you're gonna keep it flowing. Now we're gonna get ready to take a small break. I gotta pay some bills. And while I pay those bills, we're gonna be right back. And we got more with Miss Brandy Hunt. She got this great book. We're gonna get into the book. Like I said, we're gonna get into your business too. So When we get into all that, we're gonna get done paying these bills. Got a music video to put up too. And we'll be right back. It's your boy T. Right. Got Brandy Hunt right here on the House of Praise. CI Media Network lately?
It might seem crazy.
They got the hottest new music, best known around the country. Best contemporary, gospel, R&B, positive, secular music known to man. So make sure you stay tuned in to the hottest station known to man, Carolina and Georgia's own, the CI Media Network.
The truth can hurt you.
Down. And we still here chilling with Miss Brandy Hunt, man, and she has been letting us know that she is super a woman of God, trailblazer of faith, and she's got this book. I got it right here, y'all. I'm in the camera. Watch out. I don't need you to see my face right now. I need to see this book. This book right here. Now I want to come out dealing with the hand I was dealt. Now that's a strong title. Where'd that come from?
Well, definitely came from God.
Okay.
But dealing with the hand I was dealt is the epitome of getting back to the root of your problem with your entire life, dealing with the root and moving forward past the pain. So getting over your pain onto your purpose.
Wow. So when you're dealing with the root of your purpose and dealing with that pain, where were you at, if you don't mind me asking, where were you at to make yourself want to say, I can write this book and this book is going to be beneficial for everybody?
Well, God really laid the title in my lap years before I even wrote the book. And I kind of put it on the shelf. You know how you have that idea and you're like, right, where did that come from? So I just put it on the shelf, went to live my life. 10 years later, I was in a women's conference and I heard God tell me again, you need to write the book. I was like, okay, what book? So I started on a different book, and I was at another conference, to God be the glory, and a woman said, you need to go back and do the first thing God told you to do. I'm like, that's fully loaded. Like, what was the first thing? So I'm in my closet, that's theoretically, but I was literally in my closet digging stuff up, and I started to cry about having to throw different things away, things I had found from my boyfriend, things I had found from my ex-husband, things I had found that was related to my past, even with things, pictures of my father. I wasn't necessarily throwing it away, but I was finding it and putting it in its respective place, and it just felt like a bottle of emotions began to come up, and I was like, why is all this stuff making me upset? And it was when I figured that I was still attached to it, and I was struggling with letting it go. And so I prayed about it, and God showed me that that was the book that I needed to write. And then the title came back, and I was like, dealing with the hand I was dealt. He gave me that years ago. So I went back to write the book, and he showed me how a lot of women, that's what we struggle with, ties go with relationships, not necessarily parents. My father committed suicide, and I never really dealt with it. I kind of just, what we do, sweep it under the rug and just keep going and pretend like it didn't really hurt when it did really hurt. And I really wanted answers, but I never said anything, and I kind of just lived my life in silence.
Now, is there a specific chapter in this book? I mean, I want y'all to go get this book. We're going to tell y'all how to get it too. But is there a specific chapter in this book? Because I came across a chapter dealing with rejection. Now, everybody deals with that. There's, card number 2 in the book. And how's that? How was it writing that chapter dealing with rejection? Because we have it happen every day.
The entire book is pretty much dealing with some major issue, but I think dealing with rejection was the hardest one, because that no does something to us. It's like, it's telling us we're not worthy. It's telling us nobody wants you. You're applying for 4, 5, 6 jobs. We don't want you. And if you already have that in you, it's agreeing. It's agreeing with what's already in you. Well, my dad committed suicide, so he didn't want me. My boyfriend left me, so he didn't want me. Now these jobs don't want me, so now I just feel unwanted and unnecessary. So you have people commit suicide because they don't feel value within themselves. So because I didn't have any value within myself, I didn't have any value to offer.
Wow. Now, I mean, what's real off of that is it happens all the time. I mean, there's some things that even myself have seen in ingredients in it, and I want y'all, to know. We're going to get this copy of this book, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to make sure that we're going to do everything we can to make sure this copy of this book is there, because you got to deal with the cards, the hand that's been dealt to you, okay? Because this right here, this the truth. Now, where can I get this book? I'm selling it all over the country. So where can they get this beautiful book?
Well, all over the country. We're all familiar with Amazon. So, of course, Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble. And you can inbox me on any social media site as Brandy the author.
Okay. And what is the average price for your deal?
It's $14.99.
$14.99.
That's it.
So to get yourself in a better position in life, $14.99. You can pay for a therapist. That copay is not going to be $14.99. My grandma used to say, only thing that's not going to cost you, talk to Jesus. But this book right here will help you out.
And that was me talking to Jesus for you.
Okay, well, we're going to take that to the bank. But we got a few more things. We got some more bills to pay real quick. And what we're going to do, we're going to come right back. I want to get to the business side of it. I love always connecting with other entrepreneurs, because it's nothing more sufficient than checking with another entrepreneur, seeing how their story started and where they think their story is about to start ending up. Every chapter, author has to have an ending. We'll be right back. And when we get back, we got some more questions, but I definitely want to check with that.
Thank you.
What's going on, world? It's your boy T right.
On House of Praise, and it has been a phenomenal time with you. We've talked about who you are. We've known that you have a lot of faith that your daughter is driving on the road. And we have been talking about this beautiful book. But before I jump to the entrepreneur side of you, I want to know, what message do you have with some young ladies that might have went through some stuff, that you got to get this book right here now for $14.99 on Amazon?
My message for young women, women that are going through tough situations is first, forgive. Forgive yourself, forgive the other people that hurt you, and forgive God. Because ultimately, I think we blame some stuff on God, like this is all God's fault. We have to take accountability where we can, where what was our fault, and then take accountability for the fact that you're still here to make a difference. So forgive first, and second, learn the art of letting go. It's an art. You have to do it over and over, but remember that those people don't have your identity with them. Your identity is in God, period.
See, it's you know, well, you're so much of God's saying, you know, there's so many things that us as individuals go through, and I can say this on or off camera, man, you're inspirational to not only men and women. Because a lot of times, this book right here can affect everybody. I don't even know, God put me straight on that rejection one, because we didn't really have one before we was on camera. But we're going to look to the entrepreneur side now. You got a publishing company.
I do.
And you are a multitasking woman. You are a woman on, what I call a woman on the mission. How did you get your business started? I mean, you know, was it one day you just sitting at home and just boom, or did you, or were you that one? I'm at work, I'm tired of working these hours. Let me get myself out here.
Say that again. It was both. Actually, I struggled getting my book published. I sent it to several different publishers, and they said, "You have a great book, but we don't want nonfiction." So I prayed about it. I was like, God, what do you want me to do? I didn't send it to 10 people. I don't want to keep doing this over and over because I had a deadline. And so he said, do it yourself. And in a couple of years, you'll go back and teach people how you did it. Well, I didn't know that meant that I was going to have a publishing company. I just thought I'd do a couple of workshops. But it branded itself into me having my own publishing consulting firm. So now I help people become self-published. So I'm not a publisher like a traditional publisher. You just hand over your book. I actually am going to teach you how to be me.
Okay. And that works out well, because a lot of times, you know, I live by, you can teach anybody how to do something if you do it for them.
Correct.
But if you teach them how to do it, they'll become prosperous all the way down the line. Now, what did you do traditionally after you became, you know, putting yourself out there? I mean, there's a lot of obstacles that come through being an entrepreneur. You know, one thing is that, oh, I don't have enough money. Or, man, where am I going to get this done? Or I don't have this, or I don't have that. What were some of the challenges that you were faced with, if you don't mind me asking, when you first started?
The very first challenge is that you have to believe in yourself. Before we get any money, anything like that, I was sitting at my desk, I told you both of them, and I said, you know what, God, I can't do this and that, because it takes a lot to edit and branding and marketing and having conversations. That just takes time, and I can't be on the phone and doing both. So God, you're going to have to release me from one of them. And so it was my actual 9-to-5 job. And so the obstacle was just first believing in me and that God is going to provide the whole way through. Faith is our currency. It just is. You know, before we get any dollars in the bank, we had to believe that the money was going to be there when we got there.
I mean, that is true. I think for me as an entrepreneur, the first thing that has happened for me was, just like anybody else, you know, we're thinking about how much money, you know, we don't have to start this and start that. And I tell everybody, you know, God was my first investor. Faith obviously has lots to do with any investment you want, but faith really, God was really my first investor. You know, I believed in myself, but then also we have those days where even our own faith has been tested, and
every day.
every day. Now, if you don't mind me asking off of this one, after you did your first book, what kind of things that started happening like right away? I mean, whether it's, you know, people just your friends, or was it more of a situation where it's the more you did, the more your time? I mean, how did you start balancing all that stuff?
Well, I balanced it by focusing. And again, we've already dealt with losing people.
Right.
So the people that decided, you know, you don't have time for me, you want to do that book stuff all the time. This is not just book stuff, this is my mission, this is my purpose. And if you can't support me, then that's just God weeding people out of your life. So I had good things and bad things both happen. And I will say right off the bat, people supported me. And I thank you. I thank my fans for still supporting me. I thank my family for being there. So right off the bat, I did have people saying, hey, oh my God, you wrote a book? Let me buy it, you know, just to find out. I think some people might have been nosy. They just want to know what I've been through. But some people actually did support me. So I can say that happened right off the bat.
And I love when people just sit there and support your movement. And it does get pretty difficult at times. I will say that, you know, from one business owner to the next. But, you know, if it feels great when you see stuff come together, and you know, sometimes it doesn't seem like you'll have more setbacks than you have results, but sometimes you'll see a result every day. You know, a friend of mine told me, waking up, just knowing you can do the business.
Absolutely.
It's something that you should be proud of every day. Now, what other authors that you have? Do you have any other authors that are coming out with books right now?
Absolutely. I actually have a very exciting project. I have 25 authors total. 15 are doing a one-book collaboration, and we will have our book release in Greenville, South Carolina on September 9th. We're doing a two-phase production. So the morning will be at 10 a.m. It'll be a women's conference. I just love women's conferences. And then the evening will be at 6 p.m., which will be an introduction of the authors and a book signing and a reception to follow. So you can be there September 9th, Greenville, South Carolina.
What about?
It's going to be at McGivney Hall, and if you follow me on social media, if you will follow me, it's all over my social media page. It's on Eventbrite as well for the tickets.
Okay. And then where can they see you on your social media pages? Because we now going to get this book out. We're going to have everybody lined up. So where can they actually see everything else? So
that's Brandy the author, or Brandy Hunt, H-U-N-T, and that's on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to make sure that everybody gets this book right here, Deal with the Hand with That. Get that book right there, y'all. We're going to make sure everybody gets this book, and I want to make sure, I thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for just being who you are, being the beautiful person that you are. And hey, everybody, this your boy T right.
What's going on, world? It's your boy T right.
We're still chilling with Miss Brandy Hunt, and I ain't gotta put my name out there again, but since I gotta do it anyway, it's your boy T Right, and this is definitely the hottest show known to man, House of Praise on the CI Media Network. We've been talking about the gorgeous Miss Brandy Hunt, how you've been doing everything. We've been talking about this great book that we have here, and we've also got some things going in from how everything's been going as an entrepreneur, getting your publishing company. But I want to know the name of your publishing company, and you know what background was part of the name of your publishing company.
Well, the name is Publish You, the letter U. You write, we work. So basically, I take the pressure out of publishing, and I'm a Walmart of publishing. So no matter what you need, whether you need a writing coach, an editor, branding and marketing, photography, you name it, we do it for you. And I'll help you walk through the process so that, again, you can become a walking version of me in your own right.
Okay. Now, what does a typical service fee go for? Like say I want to write my book, you know, then I want to get mail, but you know, I'm doing all my thing. I want to get me a book going on. From point A to point Z on the real time, you know, how would you take that person from, say they got all these ideas in their head, but they don't know where to start from?
Well, first what we would do is do a publishing consultation, which I will do for free. And you can contact me at publishu, the letter U, 00 @gmail.com, or call me 864-305-6518, and we'll sit down and have a personal conversation on what you want to do. We'll create an outline as to what the chapter headings will be, so you will actually have something of substance to say you're not just going to write a book, but I am writing a book, because the outline is part of the story.
Because a lot of people come and say, hey, I like the fact that I want to write a book. I had a young lady about a few months ago asked me about writing a book, and I told her I could help you publish the book, but I ain't going to be able to help you write it.
That would be me.
So we're going to link up so this young lady can get her book wrote. And so once you get to that point of outlining everything, what's some of the stuff today? Are you able to help them go on popular book tour, stuff like that?
Yes, okay. Absolutely. I have several connections, and I'm glad to add you to the mix.
Okay.
Radio, TV, magazines, you name it, all over the country I have connections. So if a book tour is what they want to do, again, I have conferences, I have pastors, leaders all over the United States who we collaborate together to get these things out.
Well, we definitely want to make sure that we have a beautiful relationship, so that way we can do that. And like I said, there's people that I know, younger people, because get your opinion on this real quick. They actually come out and say a lot of the generation millennials, I guess you would like to say, if they say that they're lazy and they don't do much, but I don't think that's true. What do you think?
I disagree. I see several millennials, and my daughter's one. So I see several millennials making a difference. I think what it is we stereotype so fast. There are children and millennials that are not doing the right thing, but there's also children that are doing the right thing, entrepreneurs, inventors, that we're not putting our eye on that. I think as a society, we just like negative stuff. But if we just turn our eye to something positive and we keep giving word of mouth, we'll raise them up just like we raise up the negative.
Okay. Well, I definitely want to say thank you for taking some time out, come to see me, little T right over here. Always in upstate South Carolina, right here in Walhalla, South Carolina. I gotta know around here. It's a little far out for some folks, but you know they show us nothing but straight love, and you have. And just do what we do best. So I want you guys to go ahead and get this book. I'm putting it up right here because I want y'all to know that this book is definitely in the building. You need to go get this book, PublisHu. If you are looking to become an author or want to be able to have someone take you from point A to point Z. She already said she's a Walmart of author writing, y'all. So what that means, you in Walmart getting it anyway, she gonna help you sell your book and then be in Walmart. How about that?
How about that?
So we gonna do what we do best. And hey, what is the last thing that you can give anybody out here? The last message, you know, what keeps Brandy Hunt motivated? What can you give somebody out here motivated before we get ready to come out?
Live your life on purpose. That's what I wake up every day. I motivate myself to just live my life on purpose with a purpose. And you can't lose.
Can't lose. Might get hit a few times,
right?
Can't lose. So, hey, well, I want to thank you guys for tuning into House of Praise. You always know how you can hit us up. If you ever got anything going on or you want to find out more about our guests, you can always go to our website, www.cimedianetwork.com, and it'll let you know how you can find out about all our guests. And you can also go to our Facebook page, CI Media Network, Christ in Action, if you need to make sure it's all good. And find out about PublisHu, you can talk about Miss Hunt, or any of our other following guests that we've had on the show. It's your boy T Wright. Hey, love y'all. Stay tuned for the next episode of House of Praise real soon.